Last year was about branding, this one about expanding. Caught a flight to Cali, May 24 I landed.
It's your boy on Saw Tree, man. Top 3 rap albums of 2020. We back for the second round, yo. Listen, man, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, go on down, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, man. We bringing it on. We just gave you number 3 album, which was Nas Escobar, King's Disease. This is the number 2 rap album of 2020, yo. Burden of Proof. That boy Benny the Butcher is back with another one. Listen, man, if you haven't listened to this album yet, do yourself a favor. Go on in, take a listen to this album. If you already heard the album, drop an early comment. Let me know what you guys think about the album. But we're going to get right into the review of this album, man. This is the second best rap album of 2020. And Benny goes in, man. Yo, listen, bunch of tracks on there. I think it's 13 tracks on the album. 12 tracks on the album. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to jump into track number 1, Burden of Proof, which is the name of the album. First track, Benny goes in, y'all. Let me give you the first verse. Burden of Proof. He said, yo, last year was about branding. This year's about expanding. Caught a flight to Cali, May 24 I landed. This rap shit is easy. Tell the truth, I can't stand it. If I ain't have these F's, I put a brick in transit. Ask about me. All I did was get advice from jiggers who selling white. Threw the money on the table before the plug set the price. I was eager. Ain't no tomorrows. I could be dead tonight. I was seasoned like patent leather, Jordan 12 mics. Woo! He said, yo, I need a trunk full of cash. My foot stuck to the gas. That's $1 in the stash, doing $1.50. Yo, Benny starts off the album with nothing but flames and fire, yo. Shout out to Hitboy on this first track. That production on this first track is crazy, man. Let's get into it, yo. Burden of Proof, track 1. Number 2 rap album of 2020, yo. Benny the Butcher, let's go.
Last year was about branding, this one about expanding. Caught a flight to Cali, May 24 I landed.
This rap shit is easy, yo. Listen, man. Griselda been heating shit up for a minute. All right, like Benny said himself, it's like 3 to 5 years he's on this run. He's just getting started. If you listen to 2020, Griselda dropped a bunch of albums this year already. And coming off of Benny had a few good albums. He had some pretty solid albums. But this one, man, I think listening to this may be his best project, yo. We're going to get into the next song we're going to talk about. This is track number 3. Track number 3. This track is called Sly Green, and he has a verse on there. We're going to jump into verse 1. This is verse 1 off of the track number 3 called Sly Green. Benny goes, yo, I'm a Christian Dior shirt rocker, 2 Glock wearer. Only rapper that would have thrived in the Tupac era. Hold up. Benny, you my man. Benny. You that guy right now, man. You that guy right now, but you reaching with that bar, man. You reaching with that bar. Y'all hit the comment section, man. Y'all hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about that bar. Is Benny being real, or let me bring the bar back for y'all. Hit the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that bar. I'm a Christian Dior shirt rocker, 2 Glock wearer. Only rapper that would have thrived in the Tupac era. I'm talking 98 drug money, shoebox era. I proved my point once in every take. The proof got clearer. Y'all jiggers make threats. We pay killers and take bets. Fuck with us and end up bad like dope that can't stretch. 20-something years in and ain't make a mistake yet. If you ain't spending half a M, ain't no way to relate you. Woo! Let me slow that one down. My bad, yo. Let me slow that one down. He said 20-something years in and ain't made a mistake yet. If you ain't spending half an M, ain't no way to relate yet. Ooh. That's tough, yo. Let me give y'all another piece of this song right here. Yeah, we're gonna jump down in the track a little bit more. Benny the Butcher, track number 3, Sly Green. Benny says, yo, I push weight like a body build. I let the bitch slide, her attitude fake, but her body real. Listen, that verse is real. Look around and say, let me bring that back. Benny the Butcher, track number 3, Sly Green. I push weight like a body build. I let the bitch slide, her attitude fake, but her body real. I'm on point when my enemy's not. I shoot with nobody around me like a penalty shot. Woo-hoo! Woo! Woo! I shoot with nobody around me like a... Man. Let's keep going, yo. Benny the Butcher. Track number 3. Sly Green. I'm going to bring it all the way back. I push weight like a body build. I let the bitch slide, her attitude fake, but her body real. I'm on point when my enemy's not. I shoot with nobody around me like a penalty shot. When Jigga's traps was warm-ups, mine was literally hot. The promoting I did, Pyrex should be giving me pots. Whoa! Woo! Let's go, man. This is track number 3. This track is called Sly Green, Benny the Butcher. Let's go.
Tupac era. I'm talking 98 drug money, shoebox era. I prove my point once and never take the proof.
Benny mixes slick talk and street movements perfectly in this album, man. When you listen to this whole body of work on this album and listen to his sly talk with all of his street endeavors, like it really, it meshes well. The way he spits his verses, his flow, he's almost perfected his flow. He has a great flow and knows how to say his words, now how to put his words together. But this right here, man, that track Sly Green was fire, man. Let's move on, yo. We're going to move on to track number 4, which is called One Way Flight. Y'all love this track, man. This track seems very, very, very personal, all right? Let me give you all a verse off of this track right here. Benny goes, yo. What's a stage with no mic and no voice of a poet? What's more important, the flower or the soil that grow it? That's a nice verse. When I first heard that made me think, yo. When I first heard this piece of verse right here, I'm gonna bring that back for y'all. That really had me thinking, yo. What's a stage with no mic and no voice of a poet? What's more important, the flower or the soil that grow it? Yeah, it's cool, but one rule, don't get caught in the moment, or it's back to swinging ratchets and warming up water. Like, it just feels like, you know how sometimes you listen to some tracks and you can tell like it's a lot of exaggeration in the music. Rap has a lot of exaggeration. Let's be real. Hip hop has a lot of exaggeration. But when you listen to this song, One Way Flight, and then the production on this has a nice, oh man. Let me give it to y'all, man. This is track number 4. This track is called One Way Flight, yo. Let's go.
This for hustlers with straight cash, not bitches with fake bags. For hoes who fall in love with trappers and break bags.
Ooh, she fucking me, but she fake mad. Man, listen. We're going to move into the next track. We're going to talk about another one. Oh, this track right here is a straight banger, man. This track is called Famous, and this is track number 5, yo. And again, shout out to Hitboy, man. Like I said in the last review, I really, really slept on Hitboy. Like I said, he was not on my radar as a big producer. I listened to some of his stuff. He got some pretty good production out there. Then when he did the Nas production, I was happy with the Nas production, but I still felt like it was something missing from the Nas album, he delivered it on this album right here, man. So shout out to Hitboy on that. We're going to jump into this track number 5. This track is called Famous. I'm going to give you all one of the verses off of this right here. Track number 5, Famous. He says, I choose money over fame, how I end up with them both. And that's real. Listen, in the world of hip-hop today, we always talk about, well, not today, forever. We always talk about artists selling their souls, artists signing deals where they sign away their lives. Artists don't have their publishing. Artists don't have their royalty. It's just that piece of that line right there just sums all of that up. And let me bring that back, yo. He says, yo, I choose money over fame, how I end up with them both. I'm just a dealer to the judge and a sinner to the pope. At least could take 200 grams out, depending on the dope. I remember doing stick-ups for less than $100. Now we don't get dressed for less than $100,000. I love that line, yo. Woo! I remember doing stick-ups for less than $100. Now we don't get dressed for less than $100,000. And I never think I make it out the hood, and I still don't feel it though. But I still don't feel famous. Whew. Let me give you the next piece of this verse, yo. Let me give you the next piece of this verse. Benny, Famous. So, you know what, man? Let's jump into it, man. This is track number 5. This is called Famous, yo. Let's go.
Famous. 3 rollies, 2 cribs, 6 figures, and I still don't feel famous.
What he said, yo, 3 rollies, 2 cribs, 6 figures, and I still don't feel famous. How you got 3 rollies, 2 cribs, 6 figures, and you still don't feel famous? The vivid stories that Benny paints in this album, on these tracks, you can just feel what he's talking about. Excuse me. This album, honestly, this album feels like it's a throwback album. When you listen to the tracks on there, you listen to how the production is put together, how he put together the tracks like a story. This feels like a throwback album. This feels like something we were getting back in the 90s, early 90s, mid 90s. So shout out to Benny on his storytelling. This album makes you really feel the words that he's saying on this album, man. Next track on the album I want to talk about is track number 7. And track number 7 has a really nice laid-back production on this. And I want to shout out Benny, man, for not overdoing it with the features on there. So far in the album, there was only a couple features on there. So far in the album, it was only the Rick Ross was on track number 2, and then you had Freddie Gibbs was on track number 4. So there's a few features on there, but he didn't go overboard with the features. And so far to the album, the features feel like they really do belong on the album. All right, so we're gonna move into the final track we're gonna talk about on this album. This track is number 12. This is the final track on the album. This track is called Legend, man. And I'm really conflicted on if this is my favorite song off of the album, but I'm going to give you just a few verses off of this. Track number 12. This track is called Legend. So Benny goes, yo. And I don't want nothing for free. They ain't know me then, but they check it now. The best player getting drafted in the 7th round. I learned rules from the streets and wrote them lessons down. I knew 150,000 weighed like 7 pounds. Woo. That wordplay is crazy. Let me bring that back. And I don't want nothing for free. They ain't know me then, but they checking now. The best player getting drafted in the 7th round. I learned rules from the streets and wrote them lessons down. I know 155,000 weigh like 7 pounds. Says that's going to be a legend soon. Shit, I'm a legend now. verse 2. He goes, yo, 50,000 in the drawer at the W with some bitches. And every time I score, it's a W for the villains. Woo-hoo. If you don't know what the W is, the W is a hotel. There's a few locations. There's one here in New York City. There's one here in downtown Manhattan, close to Chambers Street. There's a W hotel there. I know there's one in LA. I believe there's one in LA also. But the W Hotel is a very upscale hotel. I think that's the first hotel I've walked into a unisex bathroom. It's crazy. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But the W is a W Hotel. Let me bring that back. He says, yo, this is verse 2. Legend. 50,000 in the drawer at the W with some bitches. And every time I score, it's a W for the villains. I'm somewhere in the hood, elbow rubbing with all the dealers, saying because of you, we ain't been this comfortable in a minute. I beat a lot of charges. This money, you got a pardon. I'm a boss, so my hole's too bougie for Olive Garden. You know you making money, man. You know you're making money when they don't want to go Olive Garden no more. You know what I'm saying? When they don't want to go Red Lobster no more. Now they want to go Ruth Chris, TJ Clark's. They want to go to Carmine's. Let me bring that back, yo. Sorry, ladies, I'm just playing with y'all. Let me bring that back. He says, I beat a lot of charges. This money, you got a pardon. I'm a boss, so my hole's too bougie for Olive Garden. Rap chicks round jiggers. He said, rap circles round jiggers. That's my department. Put a block in the trunk soon as I got tired of talking. Money don't make you solid. It make you 10 times more of the person you are before you got it. Dude, that line is so real, yo. Let me give you just that piece of that verse one more time. Let me just give you that piece of that verse one more time. He says, yo, money don't make you solid. It just makes you 10 times more of the person you are before you got it. Benny the Butcher, man. Benny the Butcher, man. This is exactly what the rap game needed, y'all. This is what the rap game needed. None of that radio play stuff. None of that stuff to have you out there dancing and say that, like they said, like the Lock said back in the days. None of that shiny shoot shit, man. Like, listen, this is what the game needed. This album here, Benny had some amazing bars on this album, yo. Go listen to the album, run through the album. The bars on this album is amazing. And again, I want to give the apologies to Hitboy. He did a great job with the Nas album, but he did an even more amazing job with this album. And he's been producing other albums throughout the year also. So producer of the year, he deserves it. So shout out to Hitboy on the production on this album. The album shows that you don't need to compromise. This Burden of Proof album from Benny, it shows that you don't have to follow the script that the industry wants you to follow. You don't have to put yourself in that box to sell, to make good music, to get recognized by your peers, to get recognized by the industry, recognized by the fans. These guys are doing it their way. When I say these guys, I mean Griselda. So, but this album shows that you don't have to follow that script and do what the industry is doing. This is not a commercial album. All right, you don't need the Drake verse. All right, to sell. You know, you don't need a catchy hook. You don't need all the gimmicks. Shout out to Benny the Butcher for that, man. Before this album, my favorite Benny album was The Plugs I Met. But this one right here, this just doubles and triples up on The Plugs I Met, man. This one is a much more complete album. The album length, I have a huge problem with these albums, man. Like, what's going on, yo? You know what? Everyone watching this video, I need y'all to drop a comment in the comment section, man. This album has, like I said, was it 12 tracks? This album has 12 tracks, and the album is only 38 minutes long. How do you have an album with 12 tracks with only 38 minutes? Hit the comments, y'all. What am I missing? Are artists moving to two verses songs as opposed to 3 verses songs that we used to do back in the days? Why are artists dropping these albums so short, 40 minutes, less than 40 minutes? There's been a bunch of albums I've seen for this year that has done that. So hit the comment section, man. Y'all put me on. Let me know what's going on with the industry. I'm not feeling these short albums, man. But like I said, great album. Benny is just getting started, man. This is maybe his 3 to 5 year run right now. And as far as I see, he's just going up and up and up. And shout out to the features, like I said earlier. The features were on point. The joint with Big Sean and Lil Wayne, that joint was fire. Rick Ross is on there. Good Rick Ross verse. I'd rather the Port of Miami Rick Ross, the more fiery Rick Ross. The layback Rick Ross, yeah, I'll take it. It's all good. That's a good verse. And it's important to know that he didn't do a J verse. I think, if he did it, I would understand. But them being on Rock Nation and a lot of people comparing his albums to Reasonable Doubt, you know, to not have a Jay-Z verse on this album, I think is a huge plus for Benny. All right, so shout out for him for not doing that. But that's it, man. Number 2 rap album of 2020, man. We're going to move into the number 1 rap album of 2020. But before we do that, we're going to give y'all some quick hits. These are a few albums that just didn't quite make it, man. 2020, best of 2020. Let's go.
What you coming, nigga?